Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Mississippi Power Company, Wykert Realtors Gulf Properties, and Butch Ostelet Autoplex.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we're joined by Matt McDonnell, and Matt, you wear a lot of hats, so I didn't know really how to introduce you. I know we're going to be talking about one thing, but I guess what I know you best as, you run the Coliseum.
I am the director at the Coliseum. I've been working for the Coliseum Commission since 1986. So a long time at a great place, working with some great people. I've also worn a political hat as an alderman, former alderman in the city of Ocean Springs for 24 years. And now I'm just a resident of the city of Gulfport. And
you're not letting that get in the way of continuing that, getting involved in the community. And this is something that really is unique for the show. But I happened to move on 2nd Street, and the first thing I think I ran into was Billy Rubel, and I heard your name. People kept saying, hey, you see Matt over there? Do you see Billy Rubel? And I'm like, well, I know Matt lives over here. I'm not sure about Billy. But tell us a little bit about how y'all met and what idea y'all came up with, because it's really something that's so unique and so different, but I think is really going to set a template for other things.
Well, one of the things that I've always had a knack for was to be able to create new events and to have fun doing it, and other people to get them involved to have fun. And I met Billy in a kind of a strange way. It was during the pandemic, and the city was pretty much locked down. There was no place that you could really go to do anything. So I spent a lot of time on my back porch looking out over the water on 2nd Street, and I ran into Billy one afternoon during cruising the coast. We were watching the cars, you know, because they did have cruising in 2020. It was an abbreviated version, but they had it. And so that was just something else to be able to do while everything was in lockdown.
Right.
And so that's where the concept of the 2nd Street Social Club came to be. We really wanted to have an event to where people could get back together because there was nothing to do. There was nowhere to go. The city was not condoning any kind of gatherings, and it was understandable. But that was how the idea got hatched. And then the more we talked about it and the more we planned, it evolved into a Mardi Gras parade. And then the Mardi Gras parade evolved into doing some things to help out people less fortunate than we are. And we adopted Feed My Sheep as our benefactors of our charitable giving and of our members' charitable giving. And from that, we got through our first year, and it was so successful and people had such a good time. It was like, we want y'all to do more events. I mean, even Centennial Plaza approached us, how do we get y'all to produce more events? While I'm in the event business, that's what I do for a living, and it's not something that I plan on doing after I retire. I hope not, but we just got a good feel for it, and people liked what we did, so we expanded it, and this year we're moving it to 3 events.
I know that it's, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, where's 2nd Street? Well, it's not the 1st Street on 90, but the 2nd Street.
It's the 2nd Street on Highway 90.
Probably one of the most unique streets in that it's wide paved. It's, you know, it's beautiful.
It's tree lined with beautiful oak canopies. And you're right, it's a very wide street, but it's an old historic street in the city. And I really wish my partner Billy was here today. He's under the weather, but Billy knows so much of the history of that street and the history of the people that lived on that street. And that's what made our partnership work so well, was the amount of people that he knows, because Billy's a lifelong Gulfport resident. His family lived here for many, many years, and they were involved in the community, and Billy's been involved in the community, and it's just really worked out to where all the people that you would want in your group are in the group.
Last year, I was just moving there. I mean, it had to be the week of the parade. And of course, I'm in Gulf Coast Carnival and I'm trying to get out of my driveway and I can't because I've got golf carts and kids all over the place. This is not, when we talk about a parade, you know, you think of one thing. This is a very family friendly. The kids were all lined up and, you know, the whole community comes out and becomes a part of it. In fact, we were talking about how a lot of the people that are in Gulf Coast were actually at this event.
We have former kings and queens of the Gulf Coast Carnival Association that are members of the 2nd Street Social Club.
Right.
And they were kind of torn between, well, we want to be at your function, but we got to be at this function.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it'll ultimately work itself out because you go through cycles with Gulf Coast to where you have a lot of involvement and then
Mm-hmm.
you're not as heavily vested or involved. So we know eventually those people will get back to us, but it really did work out to be a great family event. And
Mm-hmm.
what we saw as it formed was the fact that our demographics appeal to a range from about 35 years of age up to as old as we can count.
Right.
Okay, and these people still want to have fun. And we figured out there was a need here in the city of Gulfport to create activities that people our age or in that demographic really felt safe, really felt comfortable, would know most of the people that they were going to be surrounding themselves with, or getting to meet a lot of those people that they wanted to get to know.
Right.
And that's part of the secret of why we were successful. Now, one of the fun parts of the parade itself is the front yard parties that now have started to pop up on 2nd Street, where
Right.
people that live on these homes that have nice front yards that face 2nd Street on both sides, they have family, they have friends, they have neighbors, and they get together. I mean, we saw live bands playing on the front yards with tents and catered functions
Right.
as we're rolling down 2nd Street with the parade. And I would say last year we probably saw at least 20 different homes that had these kind of social gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
We expect that will get even bigger because last year the threat of weather didn't really subside until about 15 minutes before we rolled.
Right. I remember that afternoon. Now that
Yeah.
you're saying that, but you know, it's a great, unique sort of street, and the people that live there do take pride in how the place looks. I mean, I jog up and down it every single day, and you just see these immaculate lawns. They're putting an effort into it, and if somebody wanted to join, it's a very simple process. They just get in touch with
If they go to our Facebook page
Right.
and shoot us a message, we'll send them an application. We invite everybody to join.
Right.
We've got a
This is not
very
a-
diverse membership, and you know what? It's all about your families, because when you join, you're joining for your entire family.
Right.
A membership gets your whole family in.
Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. I want to come back. We're going to talk about Feed My Sheep, because you have picked out a local organization to help, and I think that's very unique. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Matt McDonnell. We're talking about the 2nd Street Social Club, and I'm not even sure where that name would come from, but it's 2nd Street. It's a social club. It's not a club that you have to pay a lot of money to join, and there's probably not a huge board. I think your board is you and Billy.
Billy and I's board, and it's really simple. If we don't agree, we don't do it. If we disagree, we don't do it.
That's right.
But it's a $40 annual membership fee, and that gets your whole family in. If you got 3 people in your family, they're in. If you got 10 people in your family, they're in. We want this to be about family. And you know, last year we were at 25, but we said, you know what, let's go up just a little bit, but let's do 3 times the amount of events. So this year we're going to do 3. We just had our kickoff membership party at the Almanet on 2nd Street.
Right.
A great venue there.
Right. Great turnout.
Yeah, and good turnout, but a really great venue on 2nd Street. And there's some commercial businesses that blend really cool into that residential area. Our next function is going to be a Christmas party for the 2nd Street Social Club members, but it's going to be a Christmas decorating judging competition on the 2nd Street district, which goes from the railroad track to Highway 90,
Right.
from the Federal Courthouse to Centennial Plaza. So when we take that whole geographical area The houses that are decorated the nicest will be judged by the members of the social club at the Christmas party, and we'll give away awards. We've got Santa Claus there for the kids to get pictures with. The Coca-Cola polar bear will be there.
That's right.
Where you can get your pictures made with that. And once again, it's all about family. This isn't about people coming and getting crazy and acting stupid. This is about bringing your family, having a good time, seeing your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, and enjoying life on 2nd Street.
Y'all also have incorporated helping the local organization Feed My Sheep, and you're teaching some of the younger ones. It's about giving. And we were talking about not only was it some of the monies that are donated, but you got cans of food. And I think y'all were talking about how they went with a big front loader and put cans in it.
We filled up two front end loader loads of number 10 canned goods. That's what the preferred donation is from Feed My Sheep. And they feed a lot of people every single day. And there are a lot of organizations that we could have gone to, but we really decided we wanted to focus on one and make the most impact by collecting food and money. And last year, our first year, we collected $3,600 that we donated right back to Feed My Sheep immediately.
Right.
And no administrative fees, straight donation. And then the 2 front-end loads of number 10 canned goods that probably lasted them a week or so to help offset their cost of what it takes to feed people 365 days out of the year. And we're going to continue to do that. And this year, we're going to hope to make that even bigger. And, through the help of your group, maybe we can make it bigger than we ever thought.
Well, I think it's important that we get, and you do have good support from a lot of the corporations that are,
major companies in the city of Gulfport have jumped on board for us. Hancock Whitney, Cadence Insurance, Coca-Cola, Bradford O'Keefe, Harrison County Board of Supervisors even participate to help us put these events on. And you know what? It's that kind of support and the kind of members that we have that's going to make this grow and get bigger and be around for a long time.
Let's not forget the Pertucci's now, because
FEB has been our title sponsor. They've been our title sponsor since day one, and they grew up on 2nd Street. Okay, so they're part of the fabric of 2nd Street. There's no other beer company that we could ever go to other than FEB.
Right, and they're just great people, and
fabulous.
You do have some great people that just live on the street, but it's not restricted to just who lives on the street.
We have members. We have members in Alabama and Louisiana and Texas and Madison, Mississippi, Biloxi, Ocean Springs. So we have members, but the predominant base of our membership is Gulfport. It really is, and we try to keep this about Gulfport.
Now, this is just the beginning of something that is going to grow. You can see it, you can feel it. People are getting excited about it. I see people that leave those signs out pretty much year round, and you see them on the beach, and people are always asking, what is this little thing here? I know it was a big deal for me to put mine in my front yard.
Well, the signs are starting to go back out again. We have announced our royalty this year.
Right.
Our queen is Miss Barbara Sloan, who has been a local celebrity here in South Mississippi for longer than I can even remember.
Right.
And Miss Barbara still looks great, feels great. She wants to be our queen. She lives right off 2nd Street. The former mayor of Gulfport, George Slogel, used to be part of Hancock Whitney Bank, the head man there. He's going to be our king. Captain Al from Captain Al's Restaurant is going to be our grand marshal.
Right.
And you know what? We're going to have a couple of really adorable kids as Mr. and Mrs. Little Mr. and Little Miss 2nd Street. And they're from families that live on 2nd Street. So we're trying to keep this thing as much about Gulfport as we can and make it as fun and as family-oriented as possible.
I know that the other day I was over there and I looked over and there's George. He was sitting there having a great time shaking hands. What is more Gulfport than George Slogel?
Oh, no question. The amount of people that we have to choose from for future years is endless.
You're right.
It's endless.
It is. And this is just such a unique idea, and it does take somebody. But the important thing is, just like when we started the Baco McCarty Foundation, you can come up with anybody can come up with an idea. You just got to work at it and think about it, and
figure out how to execute.
Right, and y'all are doing that so well. We're just starting, and I have to give you kudos because I agree with you entirely. Pick one organization that you can make a difference. there's a lot of need out there, but pick one and eventually maybe you can expand. But right now, that is what you need to focus on, and y'all are doing a great job with it and making such a great difference. We've got a few weeks before Mardi Gras. We have to go through the Christmas holidays. We're going to have that covered. Where do you see this going one day, Matt? Do you have any vision of?
You know, we're just going to take it 1 year at a time. I mean, my partner Billy has his life to lead and his job to do, and I still have a career left at the Coliseum for a few more years. But as we grow older, we're going to start recruiting younger people, and if we are able to expand it, we would like to do a dozen events a year and spread them out to where people have something to look forward to.
I know Centennial Plaza is really, you know, with Cruising the Coast this year, just seeing how much it was utilized, you're utilizing it. I mean, what an asset.
It is an asset, and it can be utilized even more. And they really want us to create more activity, but it's just Billy and I. That's it. That's the size of our organization right now, and we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to keep creating activity.
I appreciate you coming on today. I know you're busy with what you're doing. And again, if somebody wants more information, go to Facebook page.
To the Facebook page, 2nd Street Social Club, and just shoot us a message. We always respond, and it's easy to join, and it's easy to have fun.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. We're going to go to a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to meet our senior assistant over here at Gulfport, so don't touch that remote. Welcome back, everyone. We're now joined by Amanda Ray, of course, and Amanda, we've got a special guest today that's, I guess, been sort of watching us the last few weeks, sort of break in, Miss Addie Wilson. And Addie, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me today.
I know you're excited about this, and is this your first time on TV?
Yes, sir, it is my first time being on TV.
My first time was Romper Room, and I think I was a little kid. I remember a long time ago. Of course, y'all been working closely together, and Amanda, how's Addie working out? I mean,
so Addie's done a fantastic job so far. We have had the pleasure of working with her for about a month now.
Yes, ma'am.
She's diving into everything. We've already gotten her involved in several things with the foundation. We had her deliver models and boutiques from Renaissance of the Runway, magazines and candy bars. She did all that for us, as well as she got together a little group of volunteers from Gulfport High School for the Den's Dinner in the Dark fundraiser that they had, and they really pulled together. They helped serve that evening. Elena Golden was very, very complimentary that the girls did a fantastic job. So Addie's doing a great job.
Thank you.
I know that actually it's because of Renaissance Runway that you're sitting here. I think your mother shot me a little text and was asking me, you know, if we were still doing our senior assistants. And of course, last year was our first year to have a senior assistant in Gulfport. And you know Lexi Peters, and but your mother, you know, had just inquired if this was something. And let's talk a little bit about your mother, because she had a very unique concept that I was introduced to about 1.5 years ago, and it really has caught on well.
Yes, sir. So we have cousins in Nashville who basically opened up their territory in Nashville for Alphalet, which Alphalet is a chain that started in Dallas. And so seeing all their experiences and posts and stuff like that, it seemed like they were having a very good time. And it was also during the middle of the pandemic, middle to end of the pandemic. And so we were kind of bored and just wanted to meet new people and get out of the house and do activities like that. So she reached out to my cousins from Nashville, and they gave her the contact for Mackenzie Skipper, which is the owner and creator of Alphalet. And from there, from August of 2020, we have just been working very hard throughout the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and including Mobile, doing weddings, baby showers, and even y'all's events, the Jolly Time Circus, or the Jolly Circus, and the holiday parties and the Renaissance the Runway. So
it's sort of been neat to see it from its sort of start to where now it's pretty much an everyday thing. You're getting phone calls and seeing it geographically spread out. It's a very unique thing, an idea that utilizes lights. And I've noticed how we did some things, and then you see another
see
event
another
at the
event.
YMCA.
Right.
It was sort of similar as ours with a bunch of balloons around the alphabet. Becomes a major place to take pictures in front of.
Right.
So, it really is fun. And your mother is so generous. She'll actually call me up, don't forget about us now, we want to, and she does give back in the community quite a bit. And I always think when she's doing that, I want to tell her, you can't make money doing that. You got to.
Well, that's something that her and my dad, they have to discuss a lot, because all we want to do is just get our name out there and get more business. But to do that, you have to make money. So we do reach out to a lot of people who we would do like a discount for or something like that, because we just really want our name out there. But y'all keep us very busy and in the community with the jobs that y'all let us set up. So we're super thankful for that.
Now, I know that y'all have been talking about Mississippi State. You're sort of a state family.
State.
And
We were talking about it.
I always joke about that. Why? And why does everybody not go to LSU? I don't understand that. But why are you going to Mississippi State, and what sort of enamored you about it?
So my parents both went to Mississippi State, so that would make me a legacy going there. And just the stories they tell me about how they really enjoy college and the football games and everything like that really intrigued me. So this past September, we went to the Memphis and State game, September 3rd. And I did a campus tour with the state road runners and everything, and I just really fell in love with the place and all the activities to do. There's the football games, sororities, which I'm very interested in,
right?
Rushing, and then just all the buildings they have there, like the Sanderson Center, which is the gym and fitness, which I'm very interested in, considering I want to major in kinesiology, and which is the study of how the body moves and sports and everything like that. So it was really it felt like home as soon as I went there.
Well, I know that, getting out and being a part of your community and being a senior assistant for an organization like this, you see some of what we do, but you're also taking that information and you're recruiting others in your high school. And I know y'all had that event at the Den where even some more came, and that's just a win-win-win. This is like, so your friends, are they sort of envious that you have a thing that you're a part of?
Well, they are super supportive of me doing this. I'm super thankful to have friends who are willing to help me volunteer for events such as the Dinner in the Dark at the Den. They're not necessarily envious. They're just very supportive, and they're there for me whenever I need their help.
What is some other organizations you've been involved with that do give back out in the community?
So it started early in elementary school and middle school. I was part of student council there. And that really intrigued me in giving back to the community and doing service hours. So when I got to high school, I did not make student council, but I got quickly involved in the National Honor Society and the Beta Club and everything like that, and Cotillion, which is still an ongoing thing. So National Honor Society and Cotillion. And then at the college, I do the middle college program. So I'm also a student at MGCCC. And so there I'm involved in Phi Theta Kappa, which is also a very community service-based program, and also helps me with scholarships, but also CELO, which is recruiting basically high school students to come to the middle college and experience what a community college can do for you and everything like that.
So when you graduate high school, you really graduate in a couple years of college also.
Yes, so it's funny because I'll actually have my associate's degree before I'll have my high school diploma. So that way when I go to state, I'll only be there for 2 years, and then whatever I choose to accomplish educational-wise past that will make it easier and quicker.
Well, that was not me. I'll put it that way. I can assure you. But that's very impressive. And, again, I always say enjoy your years in school, and you're certainly well on your way and getting great experience. And
rising star.
I know
that's for sure.
We're going to do some great things coming up. I know y'all kick around some ideas, so we'll be looking at that some more. So appreciate you coming on today.
All right, thank you for having me again.
I appreciate you, Amanda.
Thanks, Addie. Thank you.
We appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. Until next time, it's Todd Trenchard with Amanda Ray saying so long, and may God bless.